out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. Much love, much respect. I appreciate the love. If you've been rocking with me, man, from day one, man, big salute. TBP salute. I appreciate you all, man, especially all my members and everything. 2022 is rolling up on us, man. We're going to do it big in 2022. Y'all just keep on rolling with me, and I'm going to keep on rocking with y'all, man. In the meantime, if you ain't subscribed, we tipping. We like 100 away from 50K, man. So let's get it. Tell a friend to go hit that subscribe button, man, and come check us out over here with this good positive movement. If you ain't subscribed, check your status, man. You may not be subscribed. A lot of people get caught up in watching and don't even hit that button. There's no love lost. Just check your status and see what's going on. Because we're going to get these numbers up. When we get these numbers up, we get a bigger message out to a bigger audience, and that's what we're trying to do. So hopefully if people can get something out of these videos, man, it might help them along the way, or might steer them on a different course away from prison, because that is the ultimate goal, man, to keep dudes out of prison, man. So salute to everybody out there that's rocking with me. Let's get it rolling today. Today I wanted to talk to y'all about the pressure, man, the pressure of prison, man, when people lose hope and the things that happen, man. It's just crazy. I've seen a lot, man. I've seen a lot in 33 years, man, 12,045 plus days. I've seen a lot of different incidents, a lot of different people that get to the point where I feel like they just lose hope, or they lose, you know, that drive to keep on going through this daily. Because in prison, man, it's so mundane, it's so, you know what I'm saying, repetitious, that some people feel like, you know, especially if you got a lot of time, if you got a long way to go, some people just feel like, I can't do this every day. I can't do this long term. I can't do this for years or decades or whatever. So some people check out. Some people just lose their mind. Some people, man, they just go through it, man. And trust me, as I told y'all before, it's not hard to lose your mind in prison. It's not hard at all, because you're under so much pressure and you're going through so much that it's easy for you to turn around and just snap one day, or just, you know, give up hope, or just lose focus of what the main objective is. And the main objective is, when you're in prison, is always to get out, to get back out. Once you got in, your main objective is to get back out of prison. You know, and no matter how long that take or how hard the fight may be, you have to just keep on going, man. You just have to keep on pushing. And like I told y'all, I had to reinforce that driving me every day. Every day. You know, I had to reinforce that I wanted to live, that I wanted to survive, that I wanted to get back out to my family, my kids, and, you know, my grandkids. So I know it's difficult, so I don't look at nobody different when they, you know, couldn't handle that pressure, because I know what that pressure is. A lot of people out in society don't know what that pressure is. That's a lot of pressure on you when you're in prison, to be removed from everything you love, everyone you love, everything you like to do. All of that you remove from in prison. That is the major punishment from prison, to remove you away from the things you like, the things you love, all of the fun, all of your friends, all of your family, all of the things that you like to do. That's the punishment, you know. And to be removed from that for decades or years and decades, and possibly even forever, and to know that mentally, that's a big pill to swallow, man. And a lot of people get choked on that pill because they can't swallow that, you know. One of the first dudes to come to my mind was one of my homeboys. I spoke on him on other videos. I don't know if I ever told the whole story or not, but I spoke on him, man. His name was Archie, and Archie was from the city. And Archie was a sharp dude when I met him. I didn't actually know him in the streets. I knew about him. And he was a sharp dude. He was a hustler, you know what I'm saying? He got that money out on the street. And he ended up getting knocked, and he came into prison. When he was in prison, he was in the Virginia penal system with me. And I can remember being on Augusta with him back in the day, in the late 80s. And Archie was getting money in prison. You know what I'm saying? He was hustling in prison because when you come off that street from hustling and you in there and you came off the street with a little status, you still come in there, people still showing you love, you still got your connections, you still got your, little bit of your paper left, whatever you ain't spent on a lawyer. You still got all of that stuff, so you still somebody. As time goes on, that begins to erode. People tend to forget you. The longer you stay in prison, people tend to get distant away from you. And I look at it a lot different now. I know that a lot of people, it don't mean they don't love you or they just don't care no more. It's just that now, life goes on and people got to still live out there. And when you're not there on a daily basis, when they're used to you being there on a daily basis, it's akin to you being dead. Only difference is they can talk to you every now and then on the phone, or they can come see you for an hour or two every weekend if they choose to. But other than that, it's like you're, out of their mind because you're not there. You know what I'm saying? Out of sight, out of mind. So that tends to happen a lot with people in prison. And I think that is the whole philosophy of when you get locked up. That is what society wants you to do. That's the way they make these rules and regulations where it's so hard to get in to visit somebody. It's so hard to get somebody on the outside to check on you and to see they make it so difficult because they want to deter the people in society from caring about their loved ones that's locked up. But we have to be smarter than that and greater than that. Whoever they are, if they some kin to you or they somebody that you cared about or they somebody that was close to you, when they get locked up, you got to remember they're still the same person. They just in a different place. So you have to keep that love and keep that level of support on them, man, because it means a lot. So a lot of people, when they don't get that, that's when their mind get twisted. That's when they lose that, and then they're looking at what's ahead of me, what I got to do, what I got to deal with every day. All this chaos, all this confusion, all this, viciousness and violence and stuff, and I don't have no love or no support coming in, and that's when they get twisted, And like I say, it's something that you got to be focused on. You got to be dead on every day in order to maintain that and keep your sanity, man, and your humanity. But like I say, Archie was a hustler, man, and he was getting money. He was even getting money in prison. And just like on the street, but even more so in prison, when you get money in prison, you got more wolves in prison. I say more because you in a closed-in environment, so it may seem like more. The wolves are visible in prison, whereas the wolves on the street may not be visible. You got people lurking in all corners out on the street, plotting on you, trying to take what you got, trying to get at your paper. You know what I'm saying? Like Biggie say, brothers trying to stick me for my paper. You got that out on the street, but in prison, it is visible because if you get money and they feel like you weak, or they feel like they can take it, or they feel like they have no other way to get it, then that drama coming, you know what I'm saying? They coming with it and they trying to take what's yours. So I can remember, and I was fresh in prison. You talking about the early 80s, I went in 87. I mean, the late 80s, I went in 87. So you talking around 88, 89 when this situation occurred. But I can remember, excuse me, I can remember them saying that Archie had got, had got on or whatever, and he was doing this thing, and some dudes robbed him, They plotted on him, ran down on him, hit him with a couple of blows or whatever, and they took his package, Now, y'all been dealing with me long enough to know, like I told you, one sign of weakness in prison, the game over. The wolves is out. You can't never get no more money. You can't never do nothing if you don't stand up when that call comes. When they knock on that door with that violence, you got to answer that door, and you got to answer it emphatically. You got to answer it, open it with that Bethlehem in your hand and say, what's up? So when you don't handle a situation like that, then everything else, man, like I say, is downhill from there. So I remember when the situation happened, there was a little word on the yard that this would have happened, da-da-da-da-da. And like a couple of days go by and don't nothing transpire, don't nothing, jump off behind the situation. So dudes is now starting to look at Archie a little crooked, like he might be a little soft. Archie got little homies and everything, and dudes is pulling up on him like, what's up? You want to go handle this beef? You want to do this, do that? He's saying, no, he good. Woo, woo, woo. So dudes is, even his homies, looking at him like, man, I mean, you gonna let, you let the mamas do that? What's up? So he like, I'm good, don't worry about it. And I can't say the exact time frame, man. I don't know if it was like a week or a little longer than a week or whatever. But I remember Archie being out on that yard, man, and them dudes that had robbed him, a couple of them that was with the situation, was out sitting down beside the fence watching the basketball game. A lot of dudes go out there in the summertime, man. We play ball, man. Dudes be watching the game. Everybody got necks. They balling, they hooping out there, shooting horseshoes, gambling over here on the one table. Another gambling game. We got poker over here. We got dice over here in the corner. We got skin over here. It's like a baby Las Vegas out on them yards, man, in prison, you know, when I first came in the late 80s. So everything is going on out on the yard in the summertime, man, and dudes are sitting out there chilling, waiting to get next for a ball game. And, you know, you got dudes jogging laps and you got dudes walking laps. They say Archie walked the lap, man, and seen the dudes that was sitting down there that was, you know, involved with the little heist they pulled on him. And he walked by and he ain't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just kept on walking, kept it moving like he walking laps. They say he walked by, man, once or twice more, but when he came by the last time, see, he pulled that thing out, man. He pulled that Bethlehem out and went to work, man. I mean, vicious, man. He just started hitting them. Bang, 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 bang. And then the other one got up, tried to run it. Bang, bang, bang. And one of the dudes ended up getting hit in the eye. And he ended up losing his eye, right? He ended up losing his eye. And Archie, you know, he put that work in and then he rolled out, you know. And it was in front of everybody. So, like I say, when viciousness occur like that, and people see what you will do, or you going down like the Titanic, because somebody gonna tell on you straight up. Even if they don't tell or they're not capable of telling, somebody else gonna tell because now, you know, they scared, they a little shook. Then other dudes that might have been with them, other dudes that might have been cool with them, they shook like, you know, this joker might come after me. So yeah, he got, you know what I'm saying, he ended up getting towed off. They ended up locking him up. And he caught cases behind that joint, street cases and everything. I don't know exactly how much time he had at first, but I heard he caught a decent piece of change behind this incident right here. Because old boy ended up losing his eye. Other dude was stabbed up real bad. Both of them had to have major medical attention. And it just was a vicious scene. But like I say, this is created by the environment of prison because that probably wasn't something he wanted to do. He was a hustler on the street, not a killer. You know what I'm saying? He was a hustler in prison, not a killer. But prison can turn you into a killer. You know what I'm saying? Or you can be turned into a victim. You see what I'm saying? So this is what the situation was. And man, Archie did that, man, and they locked him up, man, and they shipped him somewhere else. So I ain't see him again for years later. I ended up getting on Mecklenburg. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the story. I ended up on Mecklenburg with my own situation myself. I ended up on Mecklenburg, man, and I can remember this as clear as day. Because I had talked to Archie before. I had spoke to him. We had little conversations about the city and different spots and this, that, and the third. Very coherent, very intelligent, very articulate, all of that. Always was immaculate, even in prison. You got dudes that's immaculate in prison. If they get dressed, they keep themselves up. They always stay sharp. They always look clean with what we was provided with and what we could have. But I can remember, man, I walked in the block in Mecklenburg. As soon as I walk in, I got my property and everything, and dudes is outside for rent. And on Mecklenburg, there's only 12 cells in a block. So when I walk in, the block is empty. If it's only 12 cells, 9 times out of 10, everybody outside when it's rent time. So when I walk in, I talking to the lady in the booth. She telling me where my cell at, this, that, and the third. So I walk to the cell. I go, I put my stuff in. I'm looking at the block. The block is empty. I'm eyeballing everything, trying to, you know, put everything in perspective. Whoa, this is a little bitty block. I ain't used to these blocks. Smallest block I ever been in, you know, in prison. So I'm looking around and da-da-da. Because like I told you, prison is where, I mean, Mecklenburg at the time was, there's Supermax and Supermax. There's only certain people there, certain criteria. But I can remember being in my cell, putting my stuff all up and everything, and I heard somebody knock at the door. So I turned around and I looked, and it's Archie. And I said, yo, Archie, what's up? And I went to advance with him to dap him up and shake him up. And he just bagged up and said, you know, like, I'm like, what's up, Archie? It's me, man. It's Bank, man. He was like, man, just bagged away from me. So he went on back in the cell. So I was like, what? And the lady in the booth, she tapped on the booth and called me up there. She tell me, she said, he don't talk. Don't say nothing to him. He don't talk. He a little gone, right? I said, he don't talk. She said, nah. That's what you mean, Archie? She said, I've been here in this block with him for over a year. He don't talk. I ain't never heard him say a word. Don't bother him. He, you know what I'm saying, he a little off. He probably asking you for a light or a cigarette. You know, he just uses his hands. He don't talk. Man, that don't set me way back. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, I knew him at first. And now, this, you know what I'm saying, what happened to him. So, I'm like, man, that's crazy. So, I go back. I go to his cell. And I knock on this door. He looking in there, man. And I'm like, Archie, man, what's up? He like, you know, and I said, boom, man, here go a light. You know what I'm saying? Here go a light. I give him a book of matches. We had matches at the time. I give him a book of matches. He walk up, he take the match, he light a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Try to hand me the matches back. I said, you good, you good, you good. He said, you know, and I leave, right? But I was super confused, man. It just set me back when dudes started coming back from rec. I seen a couple of dudes I know. So we get to chopping it up, we get to talk. Southside Block, big old block was in there, y'all. Southside Block, salute Southside Block. So I was like, man, what happened to Archie? Because Block was on Mecklenburg with us, you know. I mean, on Augusta with us. So Block was like, man, Archie lost his mind, man. You know what I'm saying? They locked him up, man. They gave him all that time, man. He tried to fight and snap out all in the hole, man. They strapped him down, man. They sent him to Central State. That's a mental institution. And they started pumping him with all them drugs, man. And ever since he came back, man, he don't talk, he don't do nothing, man. He just asking dudes for lights and cigarettes and all of that stuff. And man, he lost his whole mind. And that was crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy to me. That was like some wild stuff, man. I had not seen nothing like that happen before. It jive like set me back for a second. Yeah, it set me back for a second, man. It made me realize, you know, this pressure is real, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't get a hold of it or you ain't firm, then, you know, you could lose your mind. And you know, in retrospect, looking back at it, I'm looking at it like he probably felt like the time he had, what happened to him, what he had to do. Now he got more time on top of what he had already set his mind to, what he had to do. And it just looks so depressing. It looks so, you know what I'm saying? It just make you feel like, man, hope is gone. And some people get to that stage, man. And for the rest of the time I was there, I used to always try to talk to Archie, man, and holler at him, and he saying things, you know what I'm saying? And I can remember one incident where I was on there where a CO was messing with him, was joking on him, playing with him. You know, like they used to, on Mecklenburg, they used to feed us in the block. They used to bring the food cart and everything to the block, and you go up there one at a time, get your tray, all this and all that. And I can remember when Archie was going up there to get his tray, and it was like, nah, he playing that day. He want to act all tough. And, you know, these police, they got total control over your life, so he want to act all tough. Like, no, I ain't in your tray today. He want to play games because he got a female CO out there with him. He trying to impress her. Nah, I ain't getting your tray today. You going to ask for this tray. You going to ask for this. You can talk. You can talk. I know you can talk. Give me your tray. Ask for your tray. I give you a tray. Archie like, you know, and they won't give him the tray. He keep on playing with him, right? Man, next thing you know, Archie just snapped, man. He just snapped. Oh, man, that's the first time somebody really heard him say anything. And if I remember correctly, he just snapped and he flipped the table over in there and started going off. And we had a hot pot in there, which we call a hot pot, where we get our hot water at. But, you know, before they had put the little heaters in there, the heated water thing, we had a hot pot, an actual like a big coffee pot where we had to go keep filling up, refilling up, and getting hot water all day. Primitive. We was living real primitive. So after he had flipped the table and everything, he grabbed that hot water thing and snapped the thing off and went and tried to throw the hot water on him. And now the dude's scared. Now he terrified. The CO, female backup CO, he told me, I don't play with me, man. I don't play, man. Don't effing play with me. He just snapped out and threw the hot water, man, and slammed the hot coffee pot down and walked to his cell. Everybody in that joint was like, Archie talking? Not only is Archie talking, Archie's snapping. So it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? But that just, you know, came up out of him. So I can only imagine the mental warfare he was going in, man, what he was going through or what he was feeling on the inside. And man, the CO was terrified. Then that man was scared to come in the block. Let alone that day, the rest of the time that Archie was in there. You know what I'm saying? He was scared to come in the block at all, man. They come lock Archie up and everything, but when Archie got out of jail, they put him right back in the same cell. And man, that dude was scared to ever come in there with Archie again. And he should have been, because he ain't had no business messing with him, and he ain't had no business doing what he was doing, because he taking it as a game, but this is actually someone's life. You know what I'm saying? This is their life struggles, their life pain. You know, they're making a living off of your mistakes, off of your struggles and your pain, man. They get a paycheck for that. You know what I'm saying? So the consideration and the common decency should be given, man. But most of the time it's not. You know, but yeah, Archie stands out in my mind of like one of the first persons I saw to just lose it or give up hope, man, about their situation. Another incident pops in my mind as I think about it too, man, about the same time as Archie. You know, before the Archie situation, this was before the Archie situation, because I could remember this was before I even left Augusta. I can remember they had the little young dude on there, a little young white guy in our pod, man. And I said something to the effect about this incident too in previous videos, whether it was on APS or either on my channel, but I do remember speaking on it briefly. These stories I have repeated so many times to people in my family or people that I know. I'm making sure, I don't know if I told y'all, so I'm just making sure if I did tell y'all or not. But like I say, it's 33 years of prison stories. It's all jangled up in here, right? So, but I remember the little young dude, man, that came in. He was in the block with us. He was locked up. He was a little young blonde dude, man, blue eyes, clean cut little young dude like you might see on 90210 or something, you know. And he had got caught up in a little drug game, man. He had a little drug problem. He got caught up in the drug game and got locked up. He had a little time. I ain't sure. I want to say 15 years or better, but you know, he young. He like 22, I think, and he ain't never been, you know, locked up before or nothing like that. So, you know, prison is an animal, man. It's an animal, man. I can remember him being in the block, man, and he had a girl, and I spoke with him briefly, but not a lot. He had a little girl that used to come see him every week, because at the time I used to go over there and get visits. My mom them used to come see me. So he go over there with his little girlfriend or whatever, come see him. Looked super young, mad young. I was young at the time. They looked just super young. And I can remember, man, dudes putting pressure on him. You know, like I say, it's prison. You got predators in there. Dudes putting pressure on him. Dudes trying to turn him out. Dudes trying to extort him. Dudes trying to just put pressure on him for anything that he may have. And I can remember him trying to manage that pressure, trying to stand up, but you know, he up against mad forces. And you can look at him and tell he ain't really had no, you know, no real squabble in him, no fight in him or nothing like that. So the pressure is on, you know. And then he also had a little drug habit. So he had his little girlfriend bringing him a little drugs up there every now and then. So he take the little drugs, come back for the visiting room and go get high. And dudes found out he was getting high there. Dudes got pressure on him about getting high. You getting that sack. We got to have it. Woo, woo, woo. And he couldn't manage that, man. So I remember him like supposed to be paying one dude off, and that dude right there is supposed to keep the rest of the wolves away. You see what I'm saying? But dude won't even capable of keeping the rest of the wolves away. Dude just wanted to get high just like he wanted to get high. So by him doing that, he paying this dude, dude still putting pressure on him. So he asking this dude why these dudes put pressure on me when I'm giving you this, that, and the third to keep the pressure up off me. So then dude even lean on him more like woo, woo, woo. So he just all confused and all discombobulated, man. And I remember him telling somebody or somebody telling me that he told them, like, yeah, now, you know, his girl want to leave him because she done told him she can't do this time. It's too hard for her. She too young. She, you know, got her own life to live. She get ready to go to school, this, that, and the third. And when you get that news in prison, I don't care if you young, old, or indifferent, man, but that news right there is devastating, man, because you try to hold on to all of the attachment and love that you got. And especially if it's your significant other, your girlfriend, your wife, or whoever, you try to hold on to that, man, because that give you drive, that give you, you know what I'm saying, fuel to get up every day and fight the good fight. But, you know, he lost that, And the girl was telling him that, man, they say he was all depressed because not only is he depressed about losing her, he also depressed about now he don't be able to get high because he can't go over there and get nothing. And now he done went from not being able to go over there and get nothing, losing his girl, so now he borrowing money to go buy something to get high with because he got a habit. Right? So now he really putting himself in the fire because now the predators is pressing him like where the money at, or they want this, that, or the third, or they trying to do something to him strange, you know what I'm saying? All of that, and he can't handle it. So I can remember we was in there one day, man, and they came around for count time, and after they came around for count, man, they walking around, they go to every cell, look in their count, the people is in there. I guess they got to his cell and noticed something wrong. You know, they don't usually stop the count for nothing else. They stop the count. They, make a cold call and everything. You see a lot of officers running in there. You see nurses running in there. Then they all go to his cell, and it's just crazy chaos for a minute. Then the other two officers, once they get there, they finish the count and doing the count or whatever. So when the count really clear, we got all of these people up in here now, and we just looking out the door to find out what's going on because we ain't coming out the cell, period, until whatever the situation is handled. So I can remember, man, seeing so many police in there, man, and then the warden coming in, and major, that's when you know something's really going on in the cell. So they cuffed the dude up, this is selling, and he come out. So now they got him out the cell, and they still at the cell. So now he's sitting out at the table. So now you know whatever the problem is with dude. So then when you see the EMT people come in, and you be like, whoa, because these EMT, I think I'm saying it right, that's what they call them, the emergency people. When they come in there, they coming from the street. This is besides the nurse thing, this is some street stuff. So when you see them come in, and then this is the kicker. Once they come in and get to fumbling around that cell, and these people start breaking out all of these devices and stuff like you ain't never seen, like medical stuff, we like, what's going on? And then you see the state troopers come in. When you see them state troopers walk up in that prison, you already know somebody getting served an indictment, some type of street charges going on, or something that's criminal that's outside of institutional work. It's something criminal going on. So once that happened, man, everybody like, oh no, man, what's up, man? Dude dead or something happened, man, whatever. So don't nobody know what's going on. You heard people hollering back and forth from the cells, trying to figure out what's going on, man. What in the world? Woo, because all these people in here, you talking about, man, 20 to 30 different people in here. You got the wards them up in here, you got the major up in here, you got the medical up in here, you got the EMT people up in here, and then you got the state troopers up in here. They talking to the wardens. They got out notepads and pens, and it's just pure chaos in there. And then next thing you know, they got the stretcher joint coming up in there, man, and then they bring old boy out on the stretcher. But not only was he brought out on the stretcher, the key was he was brought out on the stretcher, but he was in a body bag.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.